Intermittent fasting over calorie deficit. Uh, this type of fasting over counting calories each and every single day, each and every single time you grab a meal. I personally prefer intermittent fasting because I don't have to sit there and count each and every single calorie in each and every single meal that I eat. But here's the important thing. As a runner or as an active adult, this type of diet is so much better than a calorie deficit. And I'm going to really explain why. Hey guys, my name is Coach Kimani. I'm an everyday runner and I coach cross country and track. Now, what I'm not is a medical professional. So before you take on any type of diet, anything, please contact your doctor, go have a doctor visit, do your own research to make sure this is the most important thing you can do for your physical body and for your mental health. That's really, really important. So this is my personal opinion with some research backed up by it, okay? So why I prefer intermittent fasting is because I don't have to sit there and count my calories. Plus, as an athlete, an active adult, I don't want to live in a calorie deficit type of thing. Because if I live in a calorie deficit, what I'm doing is I'm limiting those important nutrients. Okay. So, for example, the other day I ran 15 miles. 2 days ago, I ran 15 miles. Yesterday was a recovery. Today, I'm going to do like a longer run. Tomorrow, I'm going to do some interval training, some hardcore training, right? So, if I'm living in a caloric deficit, I'm going to bonk. I'm not going to feel well. I'm going to be hungry. And I'm going to miss out on some of those important nutrients that I need in order to perform at a high level. Okay. Now, the only reason, did you hear that? Only. So the only reason, not only reason, let me reframe this. People that calorie deficits are really good for are people that are not really, they're active, but they're not going hard. They're not training for a specific event. They're not training for a specific competition, like a race and all that. And I know there is some people that are going into some competition where they do need to lose a lot of weight quick, so they do the caloric deficit thing, okay? But it's not good for the long term. Caloric deficits is good for the short term, right? In let's say 90 days, you have this event that needs you to be 20 pounds or less. Man, that's great. Get into that caloric deficit because it will get you there. But if you are an active adult, you do a lot of things. You work out a lot. And when you work out, um, you're, you're not just working out, you're training hard, okay? The caloric deficit might not be the best thing for you. You probably don't even need it because your exercise in itself takes care of everything that you need. It's building muscle mass, okay? It's it's burning a lot of fat anyways. You're burning a lot of calories, okay? So the other day, for example, I ran 15 miles. How many calories did I lose? Over 2,000 calories. So I ate a little breakfast, and that breakfast was about 600 to 700 calories, okay? Now, 2 hours later, I ran this 15 miles. I lost over 2,000 calories. I'm already in the negative. And then I did a shake, protein shake, because if after every specific run, I do a protein shake. After the protein shake, I waited for a few more hours and then I ate a big lunch. And after that lunch, I was done. So what I'm doing right now is I'm eating 2 meals, okay? And if I'm not active that day or I'm not going to run that day, I'll do one big meal. In those 2 meals, I'm already covering all the calories that I need and all the nutrients, specific nutrients that I need. And just to play it safe, I do have a multivitamin for runners. So I'm able to reach all those nutrients that I'm able to reach. Now, I'm not living in this caloric deficit world. For me, it's very difficult. For me, it doesn't make any sense, and I can't do it. It cannot be like a lifestyle. The intermittent fasting for me, it can and it's possible for it to be a lifestyle. Well, and the way I grew up, where we grew up, we didn't eat all the time. We couldn't afford to eat all the time, so we ate maybe twice a day. Okay, and because I don't, not necessarily that we grew up poor, but our parents were very specific on when to eat. Right, they saved, so we ate a good breakfast and a good dinner. Of course, in that lunch, you eat your lunch food. Okay, so I'm used to that kind of lifestyle. So for me, just eating 2 meals a day, it's perfect. And intermittent fasting works really well because of your digestion. And for me, I'm skipping dinner. Okay. So let's say you want to do this and it's a new year. You're thinking about doing this. This is something new that you want to do. What is the best meal to skip for you? I know for most people, breakfast is the best meal. For a lot of people, it's easier for you to skip that breakfast than have a lunch and a dinner. Dinner, it's hard to skip dinner for most people because a lot of times you're having that dinner with the family members. You're having dinner at the table. Maybe you're going out with friends and you're having dinner dates and all those things. So breakfast is your easiest meal to skip for a lot of those. For me, breakfast is really difficult to skip because from 5 a.m. to 10, let's say 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. are my most active times during the day, right? I'm an educator, I'm a teacher. And in the morning, I need to be bright. I need to be ready. My energy needs to be at a high level. So I can't skip breakfast. Breakfast is a really important meal for me because I'm mostly active during that time. Now, dinner, it's a little harder for me to skip dinner, but I'm not active at all. And then when I go to bed, if I eat dinner right before bed, I have a lot of issues. Okay. I'm up all night. I'm having issues. I'm getting up to go use the restroom and all that. But I've noticed when my last meal is about 2 p.m., right? I'm done. The kitchen is closed. The stomach is closed. No more food after 2 p.m. Man, I am sleeping so much better. I'm not having stomach issues. I'm not getting up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom. Also, I'm not drinking a couple hours before bed. So I make sure if I'm drinking soda, water, whatever it is, I'm not drinking 2 hours. 2 hours before bed, I'm done. So if I'm going to bed at 8:30, right, to go to bed at 8:30 or 8 o'clock because I have to get up early in the morning to go for those early morning runs, right? So let's say you go to bed at 10 p.m. You're a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. type of person. 8 p.m. should be the last time you take a drink of water, or 7 p.m. should be the last time you drink of water. You can take little sips here and there just to keep so that your mouth is not dry, right? So you can do those things. Those things work. Yeah. Uh, Calorie deficits for me, it cannot be a lifestyle. What I like to do something I can picture myself doing it for 10, 15 years down the road. If I can't do this thing for 10 to 15 years down the road, if it's too difficult, I'm not going to do it. It has to make sense for my everyday life. Now, again, going back to if you need to lose quick pounds, 20, 30 by this event, by this time, maybe you have a surgery coming up and your doctor says, hey, by March 17th, we need you at less than 200 pounds, or we need you at less at 250 pounds, and you need to lose that weight. Calorie deficits, it's great. It's great for that because that's something you can do. It's short term, and then after that, you can pick up something else that you're able to do on a daily basis. Yeah, but for runners, people that are very active, intermittent fasting, even the OMAD diet, like eating once a day, but you make sure it's nutrient. There's a lot of nutrients dense meals that will leave you full all day, and then you feel great. Okay. So, and then the next video, I'm going to close with this. Next video, I'm going to talk about how my new diet is doing, right? From the farm to the table. I call it FTP. I know there's other diets that are FTP, but that's what I'll call it. From the farm to the table. Man, I'm on day 2 or 3 and it's going great. Basically what I'm doing is I'm not eating anything that's ultra processed or processed, right? Eating anything that I'm chewing has to come straight from the farm to the table. So, or call it the one ingredient diet. For instance, I'm just going to have 2 eggs, and an avocado, right, for breakfast. That's what I'm going to have, and that's it. For lunch, I'm going to have rice, chicken, greens, and whatnot, right? And then I'm done. I'm done. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'll update you in a couple weeks or so on how that diet is going. But hey, guys, I'm a coach. I'm an everyday runner. I'm not a medical professional. So anything that you have to do with your physical body, eating, diet, please consult your medical professional before you get into it. God bless you guys. Love you so much. And thank you for tuning in. All right, bye.